We're all becoming more and more expert in wine, aren't we? It's becoming something that sort of... We were talking a little bit earlier today about how beers are sort of kind of going out of fashion a little bit, and wine's very much where it's at.
Well, yes, actually, over lockdown, wine overtook beer for the first time as the UK's preferred beverage. Alcoholic beverage.
Now, what do you prefer today? Start pouring.
Well, obviously, yes, let's start pouring. So basically, Valentine's Day, you've got to think champagne.
Ooh, look, lovely.
Right, so we're going to start with the Rosy Champagne. Now, this is Wiener. Wiener is actually the first established champagne house, so it's got a beautiful bit of history to it.
Cheers.
I'll just pour tiny little glasses, because it is the morning.
Oh, yeah, you ought to
so,
as well.
So champagne, I feel, is a breakfast drink. So, cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is the covering on the bottle? What's that?
Doesn't look very high-end.
Well, it's actually very premium. They brought this out. It's their second skin, and it's done as a sort of gift packaging idea, but actually it's fully recyclable. It's eco-friendly, made from wood fibres, and you can just pop it off. You can just pop it off. There you go, like that.
So the idea is to keep it cold?
No, actually, it's just like a gift packaging, but instead of that bulky stuff you have to recycle, this is the way forward, because it's lightweight, so it's better for the carbon footprint of the wine, and also it can be recycled. And they do actually team up with artists and get them to work on designs as well with them, an artistic house.
But meanwhile, what's inside? How would you describe it? Very nice.
It's a rosé champagne, so it's got those beautiful fresh berry flavours. I actually get quite a lot of cherry and strawberry, a bit of pomegranate and some citrus. And this is going to go really well with a number of dishes, and it's very romantic, and it's wonderful for the champagne lover in your life. But it does come with a price point, because obviously it's champagne, so it's $69.99.
Make sure you don't waste any of that.
You pay for champagne prices, but you absolutely don't have to get a wonderful sparkling wine. For example, a Crémant. So a Crémant is, again, a French sparkling wine. It's made in the same way as a champagne. And if you get one from Burgundy, so Crémant de Bourgogne, then it's actually made with the same grapes as champagne. So if I just pour you a little...
Yeah, and there's a bit of a trend. I've noticed this appearing more and more. It's almost sort of a bit retro to have a Crémant now.
I think there is a trend. Well, I think people want something that provides good value for money. I think wine used to be seen as quite elitist and quite exclusive, but there are aisles of it at the supermarket we should be able to enjoy. This one in particular I really enjoy, with a bloom cheese. So if you're doing a baked camembert, if you've got like a brie, if you've got something like that,
very good
that will go
Valentine.
Exactly.
Completely different flavour.
Totally different. So this is a Blanc De Blanc, which means it's 100% Chardonnay. People who say they don't like Chardonnay, you're wrong. It's because you've got Chablis, you've got Champagne, you've got wonderful wines that are made from the Chardonnay grape, and it's the only white grape in Champagne, and it's the only grape in a Blanc De Blanc. So this will go wonderfully with the bloom cheese and with oysters as well. Seafood, because it's lighter, it's crisper.
Oh, very romantic.
You've got that citrus and that creaminess that comes from traditional method wines. But again...
Sharper than the...
It's got that freshness, it's got more of that lemony, citrusy flavour. Now, if one of your glasses is empty...
Well, which one? I think I'm going to go for the...
I can pour in.
We were out last night. This is helping hair of the dog, OK.
Well, exactly. The thing is, you can also look further afield to get another good value pick. Now, I love South African wine.
Married to a South African.
Married to South African. Not at all biased, not at all biased. But I love South African wine, and actually, because over lockdown the government did 3 back-to-back domestic alcohol bans in a row, which decimated the industry and, of course, always harms the poorest in the community. So by actually drinking South African wine, you're doing good. You're polishing your halo as you drink.
Oh, OK.
So
I can get on board with that.
Exactly. You can feel good about yourself.
So what are we having here, then?
So this is a Cap Classique, which is basically the South African version of a champagne. It's traditional method.
That one's fine. That one's... Do you want to muddle up our glasses?
Swap glasses in the COVID times. But, yeah.
So for someone like you, Eamon, because you're not really into your wines, is this getting you, you know...
Tiddly?
No, are you ready to impress Ruthie this weekend with your wine knowledge?
With my wine knowledge, well...
She's an expert.
Ruth has a drink problem. She's only got one mouth.
Sounds like we would get on very well.
She loves all of this stuff, yeah, without doubt. This is very light, very nice, it's good quality stuff.
It's excellent quality. Now, Graham Beck's a prolific producer. You'll see him everywhere. This is, just to give you the prices, this is $14.99 from Waitrose.
OK.
So that's basically a quarter of the price of the champagne, because... Champagne is often... It's wonderful. This is a fantastic, but... Well, lady, expensive taste.
Now, you've got 2 little peachy numbers there.
We do. We've got some rosés. So, the Graham Beck, the MCC, is again...
We can pour it rather than neck it. What should we do?
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not...
What are you doing, Libby?
I'm doing shots, apparently. It's fine.
So we've got about a minute left there.
On telly.
What are these?
So these are the rosés. You've got Minuti, which is southern France, obviously, you know, the Provence style of rosé, limited edition from M&S at the moment with that beautiful design. I'll let you
Nice
know.
bottle.
Rosé all day.
And then this one here.
pour?
So this is a £15 limited edition, beautiful rosé. And rosé is a very food-friendly grape. It's a fantastic, not grape, food-friendly wine because it's got beautiful acidity and freshness and a little bit of that fruit flavour. So whether you're serving steak or oysters or Thai takeaway, a rosé is always a safe bet. If you don't know what your loved one is making you for Valentine's Day, go for a rosé.
But even in winter, because I find wine snobs judge me if I go out and order a rosé, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a philistine drinking rosé in the winter. It's got to be red and it's got to be heavy."
I'm very anti-wine snobs at all. In fact, my page is Wine Without the Snobbery, and I do believe that it's whatever your palate craves and want. And actually, rosé is getting a really big lot of love for rosé at the moment.
Well, cheers to you, Libby Brodie. Thank you very much for your
Libby,
consultation.
you've got us all excited.
May Valentine's
Cheers.
Day be
Happy
good
Valentine's
to you
Day.
And to you.
and everybody
And to you.
else. Yeah.